Saturno tem os bonitos anéis feitos de gases e rochas entre Marte e Júpiter e encontra-se a famosa cintura de asteroides do Sistema Solar. Já a Terra tem cerca de 6.000 satélites a orbitar em seu redor, sendo possível passarem a 15.000 até 2028. Elon Musk e Jeff Bezos, os dois homens mais ricos do planeta, competem também na corrida espacial. Ambos querem lançar mais satélites com o objetivo de criar uma internet super rápida e acessível a todo o mundo. Com tantos satélites em órbita, o problema da poluição espacial começa a surgir, mas é inegável a dependência que todos temos destes aparelhos que, independentemente dos fins comerciais ou militares, nos dão informação preciosa e nos mantêm em contacto com o mundo. Mas nem só de possibilitar ligações telefónicas ou o envio de e-mails vivem estes satélites. Muitos são utilizados em missões de defesa, reconhecimento e vigilância. De que forma estes modelos de negócios são importantes ou influenciam o setor? É o que o próximo orador irá desvendar. Passo então a palavra ao CEO da Tekever, Ricardo Mendes. Olá, Ricardo.
Ora, muito boa tarde. Eu não estou a ver a minha apresentação, desculpem. Ok. Muito boa tarde. Eu vou começar em português, depois passo para inglês. Portanto, é um prazer estar aqui, naquela que é a nossa casa. Nós temos uma fábrica em Ponte Soura, é uma das nossas fábricas. E, portanto, é sempre um prazer voltar a este festival que está cada vez mais impressionante. Passando agora um pouco para inglês, para que isto, no fundo, é um evento internacional. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. Tekever it has a factory in Ponte Soura for several years now. We're very, very happy to be here, and it's a ritual for us to come back to the Air Summit year after year. And it's always a pleasure to see everyone and to give a status of where we are and where we're going. We're here today on a panel, within a panel dedicated to space. But what I'm going to do is not talk specifically about space, but I'm going to talk about why we need space, and specifically why we, Tekever, need space to happen and need space assets. So bear with me while I explain what we've been up to in the last few years, and then at the end I'll explain why we need space. So Tekever today provides real-time intelligence over very, very wide areas everywhere in the world. We are number one in Europe using drones, so we do maritime surveillance all over Europe. I have a few case studies afterwards. And we focus on offering actionable intelligence. So we survey an area and we provide our customers with information, data processed, and with insights that they can use immediately to react. This can be, for example, to save people, to stop an illegal activity, or many other things. We do this today with drones. Drones that fly for a lot of hours, that carry a lot of sensors, and we use the data coming from those drones to generate the intelligence that our customers need. And we offer this in a package that is fully managed. So basically we call it intelligence as a service. This is what we look like essentially, and on the top right corner you can see our factory here in Ponte Soura. It's one of our several factories. We have multiple products, etc., but it's all centered around data and around intelligence. What can companies and the industry do for people that require intelligence? Well, it's not about providing data and it's not about providing assets, satellites, or drones, or anything like that. It is to provide intelligence. And we believe that we are providing essentially 4 fundamental things. Number 1, providing an as-a-service mentality. More and more we see governments everywhere in the world and large corporations in oil and gas, for example, in the environmental industry, adopting turnkey solutions where they essentially want the intelligence. They don't need to own the assets. And that's where the industry can come in, and where we can create a business model where we invest, we create the assets, we create the entire processing chain, and we provide the right data and the right intelligence where it's needed. Secondly, we need to focus on the results, not the assets. We don't really care if it's a drone or a satellite or something else. We care about giving the customer the right data when he needs it, and that requires a flexibility that only the industry can have. Very important, thirdly, is we need to be offering an affordable service. One thing is the US budgets or the European budgets in the UK or Germany, for example, or Chinese budgets. Another thing is throughout the rest of the world, African countries, Southeast Asian countries. We need to create a service, an offering that can be used by everyone, because it's not only migrants in Europe or illegal fishing in Europe. There's a lot of people dying all over the world, and there's a lot of illegal activities happening all over the world, and we need to be able to create services that countries throughout Africa, throughout Southeast Asia, throughout South America, that can use. And that's a fundamental focus that the industry needs to deliver. And fourth, but to enable all the rest, we need to leverage data and leverage AI. It's not about having a bunch of people looking at hours of data from multiple types of sensors. It's about finding the patterns and predicting what's going to happen. And that's basically what we're doing. Europe is doing this in a lot of different countries. There's an entity called the European Maritime Safety Agency that we are very happy to call our customers. We've now been renewed for the next 4 years in supplying drone services to them all over Europe. But essentially, they aggregate several different providers, and they provide all the countries in Europe with intelligence services precisely to prevent these types of illegal activities and to fight pollution. It's a tremendous service that all the world is looking at us, and we, Tekever, were the first supplier, and we are one of the major suppliers, and we're very, very happy to do this. Probably the case study we're more happy with is because it makes us very, very proud to be able to effectively save people, is in the British Channel, so between France and England. And we've been doing this service for more than a year, for about a year and a half, a bit more than that. We've been throughout only 2020, and 2021 it was even greater numbers, but only 2020, which is the numbers we're allowed to release, we've inspected more than 500 vessels, and most of all, we've helped save more than 2,000 people. And this happens daily. So we have daily operations today with multiple drones surveying the channel, and this is probably the biggest case study in the world that we know of in a civilian entity. So these are not military entities, these are civilian entities, services provided by companies, and actually in this case, because it's relevant, a company that has a factory right here where I'm at in Ponte. But I think the big question is what lies ahead. What we've been seeing in the last few slides, we're already doing. So this is, for us, it's our daily life, providing these services. We fly thousands of hours per year, and we get tremendous amounts of data, tremendous amounts of insights. But how can we work towards making our services every day more effective, more affordable, and more available to our customers? Those are the questions that drive us. And the first thing is new sensors. We need to bring more types of data, more sources of data. Currently, we use radars, we use multiple types of cameras, daylight, etc., infrared. We are now releasing SARs made here in Portugal by Tekever and SIGINT to basically detect. Everyone carries a cell phone, right? So if there's a person in the water, we can detect the person, and we can see if, as long as that person has a working radio, working cell phone, whatever, we can see where it is and we can go and save it. So this is fundamental, and it's an area we're going to be working on a lot in the next few years. We need to make intelligence and data more and more actionable. So it's not about just gathering data and generating intelligence. Is about getting it to the right person at the right time. And that person can be somebody that's on a Coast Guard vessel, can be someone that's on a car, can be on an operational center. So, for this, we are developing a huge data center and a lot of different apps that can be available to anyone in real time using drone data and data from any asset, essentially. Obviously, we'll be developing a lot of new platforms. Some of them will be produced here in Ponte Sur, and we're very happy to be doing that here in the next few years. We've just set up a huge project to develop a new breed of platforms for Tekever in the next few years. So you'll see a lot of news on our Facebook page, on our LinkedIn, within the next few months about this. But my last slide is actually the reason we're in this panel, which is all of this, our users, our customers, and I just gave you 2 examples, but we have customers all over the world that are using us for providing intelligence, essentially for surveillance missions, for maritime surveillance, for maritime security. These customers, we give them, and these entities, we give them the right data, but we could be giving them a lot more data, and we could be giving them space data, and we could be giving them data that comes from satellites flying in low orbit, and that can give us a very good revisit time. And so what we are looking for to develop together with the Portuguese industry and obviously partners from all over Europe is developing the right type of satellites and constellations that can give us data at the right frequency, the right type of data, but most of all at an affordable cost for the use cases we're targeting. We are serving some of the richest nations in the world, but we are also trying to serve nations that do not have tremendous budgets. And so we need to keep services super effective but super affordable as well. And so this is something we will be investing on tremendously in the next few years together with the rest of the industry. And for us, this is the message I would like to leave here today. Space is a tool. It's not an end, it's a means. And in our case, a market that we know really well, and we are actually #1 in Europe, and hopefully will become #1 in the world, which is maritime surveillance. We need data, and we need these constellations to be up and to service data, the right type, the right frequency, at the right price point. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.